Hello, we are back with another scrap bingo today. I am so excited. I am finally going to be getting rid of some of my scrap blanket yarn in this video. Now, if you missed my first scrap bingo video, we do use a bingo cage to pick out numbers that will correspond to the kind of yarn or like the color of yarn that we will then be using. Today's pattern, we are going to be using the Scrappy Bear crochet tutorial, which is a video tutorial here on YouTube by my friend Crochet with Kelsey, and I'm really excited to use this one. It is specifically for like scrap yarn, so I figured I was looking for a project that I could use up some of this blanket yarn on, and this was perfect. I have not made it yet before at all, so we're going in blind, but I did have a quick look at the pattern earlier, and I can see that you just sew the ears to the head and the head to the body, but the arms and legs are all crocheted in together, which is awesome. What I'm thinking for this one, because I do have some like bigger balls of yarn as well as some smaller ones, I'm thinking that for each time I spin the wheel, I will spin once for the color that we use, and then I'm going to spin it again for the number of stitches that we're going to use. I'm hoping that works out. We'll see what happens. I'm going to put the numbers back in every time this time as well. So I don't know, things might change as we go. Scrap bingo is still like new, you know? I was originally planning to do like spin for the color and then roll a dice for the number of stitches that I do, or vice versa. But we're currently renovating, as you may know if you've seen other videos, and I have no idea where all of my dice have gone, so that idea went in the bin. And we are here now. This is how we're doing it. Let me take you through the yarn colors to start with. We're keeping this one relatively, not really monochrome. There is some colors, but they're all kind of less bright colors. So hopefully it looks all right. As you can see, my first color is black. I have quite a few balls of that black. If we need to get more out, we can. And then I have some of this dark blue. I have this gray that also has like a little bit of kind of brown through it almost. Another blue. This one's a little brighter. Another blue this time with a little bit of white through it. I actually have quite a lot of this still caked up, ready to use, but this is a scrappy piece I do happily get rid of. We have a light gray as well. These kind of, they're not really white. I think in person they are a little bit more brown toned, so maybe beige. This light brown, a very, very small bit of Burnout Mystical in, I think, shell. Some dark green, some dark red, some kind of dark or dusty orange, a little bit of dark gray charcoal vibe, and this middle gray as well. And lastly, I've got a very tiny bit of this Burnout Tweed. So I'm going to number them 1 through 15. I have put balls 1 through 15 into this bingo cage. So let me number them up. I'll show you their numbers and then we will roll for our first round. I've actually put post-it notes on this time with the numbers because last time I got really confused and I started getting the numbers wrong. I have also put 20 balls in here even though we only have 15 colors because I want the option to do a few more stitches per color. So that's what we're going to do. If I get some of these like tiny balls, I probably won't roll for the number of stitches because I'll just finish the ball off. All right, let's roll. All right, we're going to do 16 stitches of whatever number comes out next. Color number 15, which is this tiny ball. So we might not even get that many stitches out of it, but let's see how we go. So I actually did have like plenty and I kind of forgot that amigurumi's like smaller. Last time we were making a beanie, but this time, you know, smaller thing. So I am going to stop at 16 stitches, which means I need to roll again to see what color I'm going to swap to from here. And I forgot to mention as well, I'm using a 7mm hook because that is generally what I use with blanket yarn. So hopefully all is fine. Just going to put this 15 and 16 back in and let's roll again. We'll do color 5. For 16 stitches again. So color 5 is this one. So kind of nice to get a little bit of color, but I am worried that then we're just going to like have a really dark patch, but whatever, it is what it is. I would love to hear your thoughts on this format of video as well while I've got ya, because, you know, I feel like Scrap Bingo, I always love watching other people's ones. Again, I got this idea from Viney Maple originally, who does like Roll for Scrap, and I love all of her videos. You should absolutely go and check her out if you haven't already watched her. But yeah, if there's any like projects or anything that you think would work for a scrap yarn video, or even just a stash yarn video, it doesn't really have to be my scrap yarn. I'm starting with that, but I got a lot of yarn sitting in my stash, as you can probably see. It's all in there. That's just part of it. So I'm sitting in front of a whole nother bookshelf full of it. So there's a lot that we got to get through, you know? Anyway, I am going to finish off my 16 stitches and then I'll come back to you for the next roll. Okay, here we go. Time to roll again. Also, how cute is this little croissant stitch marker? This is from the Loose Thread, who sells adorable stitch markers. So if you're in Australia, go and check her out as well. Okay, let's roll again. Color number 4. For 12 stitches. 4 is this blue. Okay, that is done as well. We're looking pretty blue for now, but let's roll again. I am kind of thinking that if a really low number comes out for the number of stitches, I might only take double-digit numbers for that, but we'll see. Color number 2. And we're doing 12 stitches again, which conveniently is one whole round of these legs. Color number 2 is another blue. Jump cut, it is the next day. We have finished those 12 stitches though, and I am changing the rules already. So I think doing it by stitch is just like kind of wild. So I'm going to do it by row instead, and the maximum I'm giving myself is 5 rows. I still could not find my dice anywhere, so I'm going to use playing cards and I'm just going to like shuffle them and randomly pick one every time. So the new plan is we spin the bingo cage to get the number for the color, and then I will pick one of these to see how many rows we're going to do in that color. I still think it'll be fine with rows. I was originally thinking like maybe it wouldn't be scrappy enough, but it's going to be plenty scrappy. And also if I start getting things that are like 1 or 2 stitches, that's just going to be an absolute pain. So we're changing the rules. You know, we're still figuring out this scrap bingo thing, and that's all right. It's time for the next roll and our first card pull. So let's do it. We're going color number 12, which is this orange, and we are going to do it for 1 row. Ta-da! On to the next one. We're going color number 9, which is this little bit of the Bernat Mystical shell. So who knows how much we'll get out of this, but let's find out. 3 rounds, or however much it gets us through. I'm sorry if you can hear my fan. I had to turn it on because it is so hot and humid today. But I have now finished those 3 rounds. I'm very happy we've moved to the round method. And I also like pretty much perfectly finished that bit of yarn. So 9, no longer in the running. And I will not put it back in the bingo cage. But there's still more to go on this leg. So let's spin again. Color number 8, which is this kind of light brown, and we will do it for 2 rows. Okay, that has very handily taken us to the end of limb 1, so we just need to make 3 more of these, and then the body, and then the head, and then the ears. You know what? That's fine. Let's roll on. Color number 11, which is this dark red, and let's see how many we're doing. 3 rounds again. All right, those are done. And this time I'm going to pull the number of rows first so that I don't have to do it as awkwardly. How do I do this? 1 round. We are doing 1 round, but of what color? Color number 2, we're back to this kind of dark blue. All right, that was a nice and quick one, so let's go again. We are going to do, 4 rows this time. Let's find out our color. Color number 14. I don't know if this is going to get us 4 rounds, but let's find out. We'll do as much as we can. All right, that's done. We've only got like 2 more rounds on this leg. And we do have a tiny bit of this grey left, but in amigurumi that can go pretty far. So I'm keeping it. I'm not going to finish it. All right, let's see what our next number of rows is. I guess if this is more than 2, I'll just start the next limb with the remaining. But it is exactly 2. That is so good. All right, let's see what we're finishing off this limb with. I say limb because the arms and legs are done the same. So it could be an arm, it could be a leg. I think when we put it together, we will decide which one might look best with the color changes that have happened at the time. Anyway, let's roll for this color. It's number 2 again, which is our dark blue. So this limb is not going to have that many different colors on it compared to our first one. But anyway, it is what it is. The bingo cage decides. Alrighty, that limb is done. We are now at 2 limbs done and time to move on to our third. So first up, 5 rounds. This one's going to be even less scrappy. Let's pick a color. Lucky number 7, which we have not had yet, is this kind of beigey color. I actually have a smaller ball of it, so I might start with that and try and actually get rid of a ball. Let's go. 5 rounds. Okay, here we go. 5 rounds done, which occurs to me it's like half of the leg, so this leg's not going to be very scrappy. But that's okay. Let's see. Hopefully we don't pull number 5 again, otherwise it's really not going to be scrappy at all. All right. One round. Let's find out the color. I haven't put the last couple of colors back in, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of variety. 15. Oh my goodness. That is definitely going to finish this off, which is our number 15. So that's good. We're getting rid of some yarn, guys. But again, not going to be very colorful, this limb. Let's see how we go. I kind of feel like I say, let's see how we go at the end of every roll. So sorry if that has been really, really repetitive. I'm wondering if this is actually going to finish the whole round or not. I don't know. So far, really enjoying this pattern because it's like nice and easy when you get to just start by making a bunch of limbs and then I know they'll all come together. As we know on this channel, I am a big fan of low sew amigurumi patterns, so this is really hitting the spot for me. Do we have one more stitch in that? I'm gonna say no. That's exactly 1 round. We nailed it. Except my camera is not nailing it. There we go. Look at that. 1 round. All right. We've got 4 left on this leg. Let's go. I guess we're doing this first. I should have put more than just like 1 lot in here because they're really hard to shuffle. Anyway. 4 rounds. Do we have that? I think we have exactly 4 rounds left because there's 10 rounds in the leg. So let's see what color the rest of this leg is going to be, shall we? Number 10, which is this green, which is exciting. We're going to get some color on it. All right, I'll see you back when I finish this leg. Done. So these are our 3 legs so far. Some more scrappy than others. And we've got 1 left to go. So I gotta see how many rows we're starting with. 5. Oh my goodness, not very scrappy. Okay, let's have a roll. I should probably put these colors back in. All right, we're going color number 7 again. Oh man. I'm going to veto this because we've already started a limb with this and I want it more scrappy. We are going with color number 1, which is the first time we've had color number 1, and it is black. So let's do 5 rounds of black to start the last leg. If you've watched other like bingo or like scrap yarn type videos, I feel like a lot of people who do them put like veto rules in place. I didn't do that because last video I made, I didn't veto anything. And I actually kind of got to the end of it and I was like, maybe I should have thought about some kind of rule, although I change the rules all the time, as you can see, about vetoing. But That one felt right, and I don't feel bad about it. So, you know what? I stand by it. I stand by it. Alrighty, finished. You can't even see it because I'm wearing black, but that's that done. Let's move on. 4 rounds. Let's see what color. We're going color number 11, which is this red, and I don't know if we'll get 4 rounds out of it, but we will try. All right, well, we got 3 rounds out of it, so that is goodbye to number 11, and we're gonna roll again. I guess I'll see how many rows first, hey? This many, 5, man, all right. Let's see what we're finishing this limb with. I don't know how that 17 came out, but anyway, here we are. 7. I did put it back in since it had been a while, so we're back to this kind of beige. All right, that is finished, and all of our legs are done. See if I can hold them all together to show you. That's all of them completed. And now the next step in this pattern is to do the tail, and the tail is only 3 rounds, and I have 2 rounds of this left. So I don't know if I just do all of it or if I should quickly roll to see what the 3rd round will be. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to quickly do a little roll. I'm not going to pull a card. We're just going to finish the tail with whatever number comes out. Okay? Deal? Deal. And that is a 6, which is actually quite a similar color, but it's just like a kind of very light gray instead of a very light brown. Look at that. Not that much difference. Anyway, I will show you a completed tail very soon. Okay, our tail is done, and now it is time to start the body. And the body's going to be a little bit bigger, so I think I am going to take out the number 5 from this little deck, and we're just going to have a maximum of 4 rows. I don't know how many rows in total this bear is. Maybe we'll take out the 4 if it's looking not that scrappy, but let's see how we go. We also could be running out of some yarn, so you never know what's going to happen. I'm going to put all of the numbers back in the bingo cage as well, so that we are back to being able to get potentially any color. I do really hope we get, I don't know, a little bit more of a variety. I feel like the last couple of limbs, I don't know, maybe it's just me. All right, first up, let's do this many rows. All right, we're gonna do the first 2 rows, and let's see what color we'll be starting the body with. Color 14, which is honestly so tiny that I might pick another color first because I don't know. You know what? Nope, let's just see how we go. I'm really not sure that this is even going to get like the stitches I need in the magic ring, but we'll see. Let's find out together. I did not even finish the magic ring. There is 7 of the 8 that I need in here, so let's try that again, shall we? I mean, obviously I will leave those there, but 14, donezo. It's been kicked out of the bingo cage. All right, how many rows this time? 4 rows. Let's see what color we get though. See if we can do 4. Color number 3. This is our first time using 3, and it is this gray that has like little flecks of kind of browny orange through it, if you can see that. Let's go. For those playing at home, this is the leftover yarn. This is all I had left over from when I made my really big triceratops. So this is why I don't have much of this yarn left over, but it does look really cool. It is a little bit thicker than the gray that I was just using, so hopefully this works out okay. I'm sure it will in the scheme of things. I choose to believe that it'll all work out. All right, I'll see you at the end of 4 rows. Okay, so I'm at the last round that I need to do of this, and I am going to be putting the limbs through it. Well, like the 2 legs through it. So I have to decide which ones to put through, and I think I'm not going to put this one with the gray because there's already a lot of gray happening down here, so it leaves me with these, and I'm thinking maybe I do the 2 that have like the slightly, I don't know, longer stretches of color on them, or do I put a little bit more color by putting this one on? I think I kind of want to put the brightest ones there, which makes me think I should put these 2 down. All right, this is what we're gonna go with. We'll see how it looks. Alrighty, this is how we're looking. Look at our little guy. All right, we're gonna keep on going with the body, so I need some more numbers. Need to throw some more numbers at you. This one, 2 rounds. Let's find out the color. That is color number 8, which is this brown again. Okie dokie. This is how our little bear is looking. And time for the next, I don't know what to call it because it's not a roll. We're also pulling cards. Time for the next magic trick, I guess. All right, we'll do 1 round only. Let's find out the color. Color number 2, back to our trusty dark blue. Okie dokie. There we go. Next. I should have got more cards in this. All right, ready? We're gonna do this one. 3. All right. Let's find out the color. I have not been putting them back in just to try and like get a bit more of a scrappy vibe. That said, here's number 7 again, trusty number 7. Do you remember the color? It is this one, our beige friend. All right, we are going well. We have finished the body. It's so cute. It just has this long yarn tail because we will need to sew the head on, but I am liking our little scrappy bear, you guys. I wasn't sure about it, but I'm slowly learning with these projects to trust the process. So next we are going to move on to the head. You know what that means. Gotta get our cards ready. We'll start with 2 rows and let's find out the color. Hey, this was already in there. Cheeky. Ooh, color number 13, which is this kind of charcoaly, blacky gray. I don't think we've used it much yet, so let's see how far it gets us. Okay, we've done our first 2 rows, so moving on. I did roll already, sorry, without you, because my microphone was running out of battery, so I just charged it for a bit. But I really want to get this done tonight. Anyway, here's the number. We are looking at number 4, and that is blue. So we're going to get a little bit of color on the head, which I'm excited about. And I have not done the row pull yet, so you can be here for that. We're going to do 3 rounds of that blue. I'll see you back. All right, here's what the head is looking like so far. It looks a little bit silly, but time to roll again. I'm excited. There's not that much of this left. We're getting closer. I think the assembly step is going to throw me off, as it always does, but that's all right. All right, here we go. 3 again. I swear I did shuffle these. There's just only 4 cards here, so. All right, we're doing 3 rows, but let's find out the color. Color number 1, that is black. A little bit of a boring head so far. I kind of wish we had got that orange or green. But anyway, this is how it goes. All right, that is done, but I cheated a little. I just wanted to put, I don't know, a little bit more scrappy vibes in it. So I added a little bit of orange. Sue me, you know. My game, my rules, I've decided. So we still have a few more rows on this to go. We are at row 7 of 10 in the head. So 3 left in the head. Let's see how many we are going to work for next. 1. That's nice and scrappy. I like that. Okay, let's find out what color we'll be using. Color 12, which ironically, this has come back to bite me because that is our orange. So, oh well, I will finish the little scraps of this we've got left, and then I will come back and see what we're going to do for the next round. We only have 1 round. I don't think that'll make it all the way. I guess this is what happens when you cheat. The bingo cage knows, and now it's come back. It's come back to bite me by giving me the same color I was cheating with. Is it cheating if it's my own game? I guess it is. This is going to look kind of funky now. And I am definitely not even going to get a whole round out of it. You know what? I kind of like that it looks a bit more scrappy. Yeah. We did not get a whole round out of this, so I'm going to have to roll again, and we'll see what we're going to finish the round in. That is number 6, which is this kind of gray beige color. So we're going to brighten up this head a little bit, I think. All right, I have finished that off. Definitely looking scrappy now. I am going to put that number back in, and then I'm going to roll again, if I can find the number. First of all, let's look for rows. 2 rows. I swear I did not rig that, but number 6 has come up again, so we're going to do 2 more rows on it. All right, our head is done. I put in these like red eyes. I didn't want to do plain black because I thought they would like blend in, but then I don't know. This is the color I chose. I'm not sure about it, but we're here now. Now, there's only 2 colors left in the cage and there's 2 ears to make. So I'm not going to roll. I'm just going to do it. There's going to be 1 ear in each of these colors, which is nice. We'll bring a little bit of color to the head and then it's just assembly time. So I think what I'm going to do is put this little guy all together and then we can come back and look at the final product together after I've made and eaten dinner. So I will see you when it's a little bit darker, maybe a different angle, a little bit later, and do the final reveal. Our Scrappy bear is done. Look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. I actually love how he turned out, and I loved how he turned out so much that I used the rest of the scrap yarn that I had left to make a second one, and I think they are both so adorable. The extra one that I made is maybe a little bit more thought out because I wasn't scrap bingoing it, but I think they're both really cute. Let me know if you have a preference between them, what you think of them. Here are their little booties. Again, this pattern is by Crochet with Kelsey. It is a free YouTube tutorial and it's so good. I really loved it because it is done in real time. Like Kelsey just does it in real time and is kind of chatting while she's giving you the tutorial. And so I felt like I was making this with a friend. And obviously I was also like vlogging at the same time doing this. So I don't know, it felt like a very cute project. I felt like I was surrounded by my little online crochet community while I was doing it. It is a really quick pattern, honestly. I think it takes maybe like an hour, and once you've done it and you kind of like have it down, how the limbs work and everything, I think it would be even quicker to do. This one definitely, I mean, notwithstanding the fact I wasn't having to roll every time I was doing a new color, this one was quicker even just in the crocheting part, just because I was a little bit more familiar with the pattern itself as well. So highly recommend checking that tutorial out. I will have it linked in the description below, and go and check out Kelsey as well. She's an awesome crochet creator here on YouTube and also on Instagram. As part of our scrap yarn reduction, we got rid of so much. All I have left from what I started with, let me find it. All I have left from what I started with is this tiny little bit of that dark blue. Everything else I used, every other color, gone, finished. So I'm really, really happy with that. This is one thing I need to remember to do with Scrap Bingo. I didn't weigh my yarn before I finished this little guy, but I did weigh before and after with this little guy, and he took about 110 grams of yarn. This guy, I'm guessing, is like a little bit more, only because the yarn weights that I was using in this were a little bit heavier, but overall, like, you know, this is probably 1/4 kilo, 250 grams, stash busted between the two of them. So I'm happy with that. And more importantly, it got a lot of the little balls of yarn out of my basket, which they really annoy me. You know, having the stash that is in bigger balls of yarn that I can use for projects, that's one thing, but having all these tiny little leftover balls, I'm really glad that I have a fun, scrappy pattern that I can use those on now. So thank you, Kelsey. Thank you guys for being here. That is going to be it for today. So if you liked this video and you like these little guys, please feel free to give the video a like down below. And if you want to see more crochet content, please feel free to hit the subscribe button while you're down there. And I am off to list these guys on my website. So if you want to nab one of these very special little scrappy boys, go and check out my website now. Otherwise, I hope you have a lovely day on the internet today. I hope it only takes you to the good parts of the internet, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye!